Do you feel like you could use more balance in your life? If so, stick around because today we're talking about bringing balance to 5 key areas of your life to support your overall well-being and happiness. Stick around. Hi, my name is Diane Martinez. I'm a certified holistic life coach and welcome to Conscious Creating Life Coaching. I'm so glad that you're here. A balanced life is a happy life, so they say, and it is true. Balance is something we can find or lose moment to moment, but it is a worthy goal. And when we find balance in these 5 key areas of life that I'm talking about today, it will definitely support your experience of life being a happy and balanced one. So let's get started. The first area I'd like to talk about is the balance between sleep and wakefulness. Now, I know there's a saying going around now that's so popular that, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Like we're just so busy doing such important things that we don't have time to sleep. But the truth is that sleep is critical to your overall health and well-being. Now, how much sleep you need for your optimal health and well-being, that's a personal thing, just like an optimal eating plan varies person to person. How much sleep you require is a personal thing, but I encourage you to sort that out. How much sleep do you need to be able to feel rested and like you've got energy for the day, like you're not starting the day exhausted? Is it 6 hours? 7, 7.5, 8? Find out what that is and prioritize that. Now, what does it mean to prioritize your sleep? To shut down screens at least 30 minutes before you go to bed. Don't fall asleep on the sofa watching TV. Go to your bed. Make sure it's a cool, dark room. And maybe listen to a guided meditation. Read like a paperback book, not one on a Kindle. Do the things to help calm your mind. Don't check emails. Don't have difficult conversations right before you go to bed. Set yourself up for a good night's sleep by putting those things in place. And then when you wake up, you don't feel like you need just buckets of caffeine to get through your day. Prioritizing your sleep, and I understand that's likely to be a process. If you don't sleep well, or if you have trouble sleeping well, it can be, take some time to sort out what works for you. But time spent sorting that out is time well spent because great sleep supports your success in your waking hours. When you are well rested, you're more patient, you're more creative, you're more compassionate. You just are a more pleasant person to be around, and the day is more pleasant for you to live when you are well rested. So balancing sleep time with wakefulness is key. The second category to find balance is between alone time, me time, and socializing. Now, we all remember from the pandemic how miserable it is when we are isolated for long periods of time. That was awful to not be able to go out with friends and family to parties and dinners and celebrate. That is key for us, whether we are getting together with a group or just one-on-one with a friend or buddy. Socializing time is crucial for your well-being, for your mental health. But so is alone time, when you are by yourself. And those, again, just like with the sleep, how many hours of sleep you need is up to you. How much quality me time, how much quality socializing you need to feel happy and well-balanced, that's up to you. But again, that's worth finding out. Socializing is so important, to go engage with other people, to laugh and talk, to do fun activities, and just be around the general public too, is a huge part of your, like I said, your well-being and mental health. And for the me time, that can be whatever you want that to be. Taking a nap, reading, gardening, getting caught up with your favorite show, taking a walk outside, tidying up, gardening, painting. There's any number of things that can be, but make sure that you have time, at least weekly, to find that balance between socializing and quiet alone time. So for the first, the sleep, the wakefulness, that's a daily thing that we do, right? We sleep every day, I hope. The second thing with the me time and socializing, that's probably more of a weekly balance that you're going through. The next one is important. The third one is finding a balance between physical activity and rest. Now, notice I said physical activity and not exercise. Exercise is amazing and important, and I try to close my exercise ring every day on my watch. But physical activity is key. That's something that we can all do and is important, so important to your well-being. By physical activity, what do I mean by that? Basically, not sitting. When you are getting the mail, when you're vacuuming, when you're grocery shopping, when you're walking your dog, when you're playing with your kids or your grandkids, when you're tinkering with a car, when you're doing the things of life, that's physical activity. Rest is important. We do need to rest physically. But here's the thing. Let's say you get up early and go to the gym and crush an hour or an hour and a half workout. Then you go to work and you sit all day. Then you sit on your commute home, and then you sit at home eating dinner and then watching TV. All of that sitting has negated the hour of workout. What's missing in there is just the physical activity between all the sitting. That's in those little windows of physical activity are super simple to fit into your day. I've been caught more than once cranking out 10 jumping jacks in the women's restroom when I had a long day of sitting at work. Find breaks through your day to do some stretches, to do some squats, to take a quick walk around the block, or whatever that is to keep your body moving. That does more for your mental health than you know. So finding that balance. Of course, it can be overdone. You can over-exercise. You can stress your body by running too much or lifting too heavy or too often. But I think more often than not these days, our lives are in front of screens for work and our personal time. And it is important to keep a balance of that sitting time with physical activity for your overall well-being. Now, the next category is kind of like that, but we're talking about mental activity and stillness. So I don't know if you've ever had the experience of when you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and your mind is already running. Like it was thinking these thoughts when you woke up, and you're planning the order you'll run your errands in, or what you'll say at this meeting, or what you're going to do about that. And that is exhausting if our minds are always running. So finding that balance between, yes, we need to do those things. We need to think and plan and creatively problem solve and do our jobs and all of those things. But there needs to be a balance with stillness. And by stillness, I mean no screens, not bombarding yourself, your mind, with images and sound that it must process. Time in stillness is just crucial to living a balanced life. Now, that time in stillness can be whatever you like it to be. It can be just sitting quietly with a cup of coffee or tea, looking out a window. It can be taking a walk in nature. It can be puttering around in your yard or gardening. But quiet time. You might be maybe doing yoga or some meditative practices, some stillness practices. But that time to give your mind a break. Just like our bodies can't run all the time, it's not good for our minds to be running all the time. And most of us, a lot of our days, they have to be running, right? You're working, you're taking care of your family, you're a contributing member of society. All of that needs that mental activity. But to live a balanced life, we need that stillness. Now, this ideally is a daily thing too, just like the others. Finding moments, whether it's at the beginning of your day, Maybe you want to just journal a few thoughts or make a gratitude list. Just sit quietly, maybe listen to the birds in the morning or a quiet moment or two at lunch or in the evening. This doesn't have to be, when I say balance, I don't mean equal time spent with mental activity and stillness, certainly not. It doesn't take that much stillness to bring balance. 5 or 10 minutes here or there, 5 or 10 minutes later in the day can leave you feeling more peaceful, more centered, more steady, more balanced. So that is an important one too. And the last one I will leave you with is probably the one you were expecting me to begin with, and that is work-life balance. I was talking with a client recently who was just really undone by the demands of her job. She felt like nothing she did was enough, that she had to be available, 16, 18 hours a day to respond to texts and emails, to be able to jump into spontaneous meetings, and all of these things, and it was wearing her down. She wasn't able to go to the gym like she wanted. She wasn't able to pick up her guitar and just play around, which she enjoyed so much. She wasn't able to sit down and have a peaceful meal without being in front of her computer while she ate. And I asked her, if you, let's just suppose, you were abducted by aliens, oops, what would your company do? Would the company shut down? Of course not. Would the company miss a beat? Probably not. They would find somebody, fill your position, and just keep on rocking and rolling like nothing had happened. Do not throw your well-being under the bus for your job if they would just keep rolling without you. Now, if you own your own business, I know that that's harder to do, but still, it is important to keep your foot in the door of your well-being even as you give your best to your job. Make sure that giving your best doesn't include sacrificing your peace, your wellness, your sleep. Because when we permit ourselves to be run down like that, and we get depleted, body, mind, and spirit, you're not an effective worker. You're not a fun person to be around. You're not efficient. You're not creative. It might feel like you're working against your success, but when you bring balance to these things, when you make sure that you have, and again, and I'm not suggesting an hour that you stop working or how many hours you spend at your work versus home. That's certainly would be very heavy-handed of me, and I don't know your situation, but you do. You know when it makes sense to have a hard stop, when you stop checking emails, when you're not available for spontaneous meetings. You do. And you can set those limits so you create that balance. Again, it doesn't mean equal time, but it means that you have time spent in each of those so that you feel centered and balanced. And even if you're really tired at the end of the day, it's not a deep exhaustion. It's the tiredness that comes from a day well lived. So I hope that is important to you. I hope that is important to you. I hope that is helpful to you. I hope it is important too, because your balanced life blesses you and everyone around you. So if you enjoy this, please hit the like button. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. And if you really want to dive in further, come join me on Patreon. I have a women's only group there where we dive deep into these sorts of topics to really support you in creating your life consciously. So that's it for today, my friends. Until next time, create your day consciously. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.